It's live. Whew. Move back a little bit. Whew. What's up, my people? Happy Sunday. Let me know where you at. Where you watching from? How'd you find me? Just over here chilling and living. What are y'all doing today? Sunday? Hopefully the sun is shining where you are. What are y'all doing? Jocelyn made it. Thank you. I found this nail text. She's so sweet. Her and her daughter. Her daughter's like 9 or 10. Cute. I love it. Hey, get out of there. My dog is trying to love my plants. Where y'all at? What are y'all doing today? Jocelyn says she barely made it. Jocelyn, I want to be able to sleep in like that. I can't ever sleep in past like 7 a.m. I have no idea why. But what's up? Happy Sunday. What are y'all up to? What's everybody doing? I know it's been a while since I've done Sunday stories, but here I am back with another message. So share this with somebody. Share it to their DM. Tell them to pull up. It's going to be a good one. I got some stuff to say. Hey, Shauna. What time are you watching the Foot Show? So if you guys don't watch My Feet Are Killing Me, you should definitely watch it. It's a show. I'm not saying it's a good show. It's a thing. I wouldn't have watched it past the first episode if my best friend wasn't so pushy and wanted to watch it again, because it's gross. We could watch it after this. I'm not doing anything after this. Hi, Sandy. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off because, you know, Instagram be cutting you off when you play licensed music. So we'll pretend that song was mine and I own the rights to it for now. But what's up, y'all? I took a break from Sunday stories because I moved and I hadn't taken a break, and there was just boxes sitting in my living room, and I needed to get rid of the boxes. And yes, it took me 3, 4, however long weeks I've been going to do that. Am I frozen? I can see me moving and talking. But anywho, I'm back. I obviously have a lot of things going on. If y'all have been listening to the podcast, thank you. I appreciate you. We hit the 10,000 download mark, and I was so excited, yet terrified, because who are these 10,000 people? I don't know, but somebody's out there listening to my podcast and what I have going on. So there's that. I'm wearing my merch today. It says "Listen to Brandy," the Brandy Was Here podcast. I'm gonna relaunch the merch. I did a soft launch just to see, you know, if people cared and wanted the merch. Some people cared and wanted it. So I'm gonna re-release it soon. I'm gonna relaunch my website as well. Relaunching my Patreon account as well. So I've been trying to put a lot of things together so that I'm trying to get better about working in a way that I don't burn out before I take a rest, if that makes sense. So I've been putting things together slowly so that I could do some things so that it could be less hectic for me. Because as you guys know, my theme for this year, going into year 34, I am moving. I deserve a life of ease and abundance, okay? And that's what I'm working towards, ease and abundance. But today I want to talk to y'all about strength. Because, you know, maybe you've been called strong in your lifetime. Yes, I am old, Grateful. Thank you. Respect your elders, young lady. She's only like, I guess. What am I, a year older than you? Whatever. But now, maybe in your lifetime you've been called strong, and I feel like as a Black woman that that word doesn't just become like an attribute. It becomes your actual title, right? Because people will tell you that you're strong in order to almost in order to have you continue to do things that actually weaken you, right? So people are like, oh, you're so strong, I can never do that or put up with that. And it's like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm strong because I have to be. Because if I actually had a choice in this, I'd be, rolled up like a little baby. People are always like, oh my God, Brandy, you work so hard. Like, shit, somebody come pay my bills so I don't have to work. Hello. Because I'd be a great stay-at-home mom. Because I love to cook. I could get used to cleaning, but let me know. When you're ready, I will stop working hard. This is not by choice, So that that word becomes a title, and it becomes almost, a self-limiting belief. Because while you start to view yourself as a strong person, you are also limited by that sort of definition or sense of strength. And this came up for me, last year. Dang, it's been a year already. Last year, I realized that, through my health insurance, I could start going to therapy. And I thought, wow, sign me up. And then I spent about 4 to 5 months trying to find an actual therapist, okay? Because as much as we say, like, Black people should go to therapy or people should go to therapy, like, it's a lot of people going to therapy and they be booked up and they're not taking new clients, or they don't take your insurance, or it's just hella money out of pocket. And, if you're only going to talk to me for 30 minutes, like, $200 is a lot, girl. Right? If you ain't got it. And so I spent a lot of time trying to find a therapist to talk to. But then in my mind, I'm like, I don't need therapy. I'm not crazy, right? Because I'm still living through, like, the stigma of that. There you go to therapy if you're crazy. People are talking to their shrink on the couch and things like that. Hi, Devin, from the other room. And so I thought it would make me appear weak if I went to therapy, if I told somebody I was going to therapy, right? Because I'm Brandy, I'm strong, and people associate me with that, just like they do in my eyebrows and my braids. Like, I'm supposed to be strong, so why am I going out and reaching out for help, right? And in my mind, it's not that I needed help. And at that time in my life, I'm like, nothing's wrong. But maybe it would, boost me even further to help me grow even quicker if I reach out and start getting some help. And so I have to start letting myself know that there is strength in asking for help, right? There is strength in asking for help. So I want to ask y'all, what is your definition of strength, right? Because when we call people strong, often we're calling people strong who have survive the worst, right? And we think that just surviving is strength, right? If you wake up every morning and you're still here, you're strong. But some people are living through their worst nightmares, right? Waking up every day not feeling strong, feeling weak. People have that phrase like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Maybe eventually it does, but on the first go round, right? What doesn't kill you, right? Nearly kills you. Let's talk about that. What doesn't kill you nearly kills you. And what does somebody, a few moments away from dying look like? Is that our picture of strength? What does strength look like to you? What does strength look like to you? Holding our boundaries. Yep, I like that. Boundaries is my favorite B word. What else does strength look like? I'm trying to find out. When I started going to therapy, when you go to therapy, people think that if you go to therapy that, the therapist is just going to give you these answers and tell you what to do with your life. But no, they just ask you a bunch of questions and try to help you figure it out, right? And so that's what therapy was. And I had went to therapy before when I was teaching, because I had, people thought I was having a nervous breakdown. And I think I was when I first quit teaching. And I went, and that's when I got diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety and depression. And I was thinking, wow, all of that from teaching, I'm never going in a classroom again. But maybe that was just life that gave me that. Still trying to figure that one out. Put your best face forward and keep it pushing, standing up for yourself. Knowing when to be vulnerable, that's important. Difference between thriving and merely surviving. Some folks get that concept twisted. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Either we don't know the difference, or I think sometimes too we give ourselves, not that we give ourselves too much credit, we celebrate before we get to the finish line, right? It's like, oh my God, look, I woke up today. Whew! Let me sit down and do nothing, because that's an accomplishment in and of itself, right? Or you're like, my students used to tell me, I used to assign homework, and they're like, oh, I started my homework, but did you finish it though? You gonna turn it in tomorrow, or what? You just want to tell me that you got the book, you took it out your locker. Thank you so much. Being brave enough to admit your faults and persevering through challenges. Yes. Yep. Still have to figure it out, right? So found this therapist through my job. And, initially I was looking for a Black therapist, and, Black therapists don't take insurance. They want cash up front. I feel you. I get it. I understand. And so, I couldn't find the Black therapist that I thought I needed. But there's this white woman who's, she said she's old as dirt. And I asked her how old was that, and she said she was 81, but still working. Yeah, in America, you're 81, you can't retire, you're still working. Okay. Either way, she was my therapist, and she was asking me, like, why are you here? What are your goals? What do you want to work on? And you guys know that I'm a pretty goal-oriented person, so I started telling her all these things I wanted to work on. She was like, why do you want to do that, right? Going down the same train of thought that I do for my clients that I coach. It's like, girl, I didn't need to pay for this. I could have coached myself. Like, I am therapy, apparently. And then she said to me, how would people describe you? Right? I was like, people would describe me as intelligent, I'm super funny, and I'm strong. She was like, what makes you strong, Brandy? I was like, I've been through a lot, and I continue to persevere, and I never let things get me down. Basically saying, like, giving a strong woman speech, like, I've been through hell and back, and look at me now, and I'm still thriving. And she was like, Brandy, I don't think you're strong. I think you're confused. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, bitch, like, don't tell me I'm confused. I ain't paying you to tell me I'm confused, right? What you mean I'm confused? I am strong. And she was like, if you don't process your emotions and you go through life, living from the neck up, right? I'm staying in my head. I refuse to feel. Somebody hurts my feelings. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm better than that, right? Somebody breaks my heart. Oh, I don't care. I'm moving on. I get mad at somebody. I'm like, cutting you off, and I just move on. Is that strength? Or is that avoidance? And in my mind, I'm still like, bitch. But okay, I hear you. Say more, talk to me. That might make sense. She's like, is that strong? Is it strong, Brandy, that, you've been in abusive relationships and you stayed? Is it strong, Brandy, that, you're at a job that you hate? Is that strength, Brandy, that you're living the life you think you should live and you're not truly happy? Are you strong? Are you confused? Or are you afraid? Right? And this is the part of therapy where I was hoping that it was in person. You just, you could lay back on the couch and be like, let me think about that for a minute, because these are questions, right, that I avoid answering because I need to be strong, right? I can't worry about how I'm feeling because I got to get to the work and get to the money, right? Because my bills don't care how I feel, right? I'm sure you've seen that online. The entrepreneurs, the generations, the Gary V's, nobody cares about your feelings. Get back to work, all that kind of stuff. And that has been my mindset. So for the last 12, 13, 14, 15 years, I have been going and working towards accomplishing more and going back to school and adding all these businesses and having these jobs and working these long hours to prove to myself, right, that I didn't let these things that happen in my life break me. To prove to other people that they can't break me. I'm unbreakable, right? Say whatever you want to me, do whatever. I mean, keep going. You can't stop me, right? But what was that doing to myself? That wasn't making me stronger. That was making me cold-hearted. That was really minimizing my strength, because all of these things that I got involved in, I couldn't sustain them. I didn't have the stamina, the time, the energy, right? And the older I get, I have less and less energy to give, right? Oh my God. I tell you, every time I get on this live, somebody wants to call me. Nobody texts me otherwise. Okay? So I had to start thinking about what experiences I had in my life that led me to believe that strength was this one thing that I was living out, right? Why did I think that I was strong? Why did I think that withstanding abuse made me strong? Why was I championing that? And I would say, I was telling, I told you guys I started writing this book. I keep starting and stopping because I just don't want to relive those stories. But I'm processing them. Okay? So anyways, I was talking to a friend about domestic violence, okay? And I was saying, when's the first time that you witnessed domestic violence or experienced it yourself or saw it happening? And then what was the immediate next thing, right? So if you've seen, a couple arguing, what happened next? Or you saw, a couple fighting, someone physically hit somebody, what happened next, right? Did anybody come and talk to you? Did anybody come and tell you? And she was like, no, right? And we talked about being teenagers, and I didn't even being teenagers, being in elementary school. And, boys would hit you or be rough with you, and people say, oh, that's because they like you. Or people would yell and curse and scream, adults and present of kids, and nobody would ever say like, hey, this behavior is not normal, or it's not okay, or, people don't usually talk like that to people, or you shouldn't talk to people like that. Or you would see these things. So when it happened, because it became so normalized in your environment, you just kind of went with it, right? And so I would say as a child, people don't stop and take the time to explain things to kids, things that they see, right? We think they don't see or that they don't hear, but people don't take the time to stop and explain, okay? Or we celebrate certain things about kids and not celebrating other things, right? So if a kid mimics or models, right, what we do, we're like, oh, that's my mini-me. Oh my God, I love when you do that. But if they do something else, then maybe not so much. Now, I had a lot of students who are into anime and gaming and stuff like that, and their parents don't support it. But, if their kid wants to play a sport or be a doctor or a lawyer, it's all good, right? And so the messages that we receive about ourselves, right, make or break us emotionally, right? And so the therapist was saying, like, you carry around a lot of scars, right? A lot of mental and emotional scars that you're either dealing with or not dealing with. So I thought about that, right? And I think I was telling you guys a while ago, like, when it comes to my birthday, I don't really celebrate my birthday. Why is that, right? Just for a lot of reasons. I don't feel like people celebrate me in the way I want to be celebrated, so I just celebrate myself, right? And so when I was thinking about this, I had wrote about this in my journal, and it's not that people didn't want to celebrate me on my birthday or that anybody's upset that I'm alive, but when I was a kid, my birthday was kind of like an afterthought, right? I didn't, probably I was 7 when I stopped having birthday parties, right? But I always got a cake. I didn't have a party, so people didn't come and celebrate me, and the attention wasn't on me. And I would blow my candles, and we would eat dinner, and I would blow my candles, and that would be the birthday, right? And so I started making it a point to celebrate myself, to make a big deal about myself, regardless of who's going to come and show up for me, right? And I would count that as a real strength, because I see a lot of people who are somewhat codependent, right? They won't go out and eat by themselves. They won't go to the movies by themselves. Not that you can really go anywhere nowadays. I mean, ish, but I can find strength in solitude, right? I'm not afraid of being alone or being with myself, right? And so that's one way that I started to redefine strength and what it looked like to me, right? The other thing, oh, y'all still here. Okay. The other thing, when I think about what real strength looks like, or what it could look like, it's not so much about withstanding pain, right? It's not tolerance, right? And that's what we typically think, right? We watch bodybuilders or athletes, right? And we always celebrate athletes who play through injuries, right? People, thinking about Drew Brees, broke like 3 or 4 of his ribs, and 2 weeks later he was back on the field. Or, even like somebody like Kevin Durant, who tore his Achilles and wanted to play in a championship game and went back out there and tore something else, right? So we celebrate people who can withstand pain, right? We love seeing things like that. We love watching, what's the show that I used to love? Fear Factor, right? Where people are doing these kind of amazing feats, and we're like, wow, that looks dangerous, and look at you, you're still here. Wow, you must be really strong. We look at people who go through all types of turmoil, really like traumatic experiences, and these people become our heroes, right? Not necessarily because they did anything after that was super heroic. It's like because they survived that trauma and that pain, right? And so when I think about strength, right, like how am I going to redefine strength so that I don't repeat the same mistakes that I have been? What is strength going to look like for me? And strength for me really looks like balance. And I know people are watching like, oh my God, balance. I can never achieve balance. Balance doesn't exist because you can never just have everything even and things fluctuate. And sometimes I'm going to be over here, I'm going to be over there. But achieving real balance, right, is about staying in the moment and really going with the flow, right? So if in this moment I feel something, right, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it fully. And when that moment passes, when I no longer feel that thing, I'm going to move on to something else, right? Balance. I gave this example to somebody the other day, right? Let's say I'm leaving out my house in the morning, and, let's say my son left his shoe in the way. And I get up late, I'm in a rush, I trip over his shoe, bang my head into the wall, right? I'm probably going to say something inappropriate. I'm probably going to scream, curse, whatever, right? And I'm going to pick myself up, go downstairs, and get in the car. I'm going to go on about my day, right? If I get to the 3rd red light and I'm still cussing and screaming about tripping over that shoe, right? I am carrying that moment beyond its life, right? Because that moment has passed. That initial pain or embarrassment of me tripping is no longer there. But I'm taking that feeling and that experience with me. Okay, perhaps you've done this, right? You live with somebody and they made you mad in the morning. You carry that anger and upset with you all day. You get home, you still mad, and they have forgotten about even what happened. Has that happened to anybody? Yeah. So balance is, for me, really experiencing that ebb and flow of life, right? And not harping on any one experience as a make or break for me. But all of these experiences, being the sum of me and who I am and what I do, right? So strength, we often think about strength as power, but strength could also be effective force, right? Because sometimes something that doesn't appear strong is actually really strong, right? So I don't know if you ever did this, and I didn't take physics until college, and I feel like I only passed because I was a senior. because I just still don't get it. But anyway, maybe in physics, how people make those bridges, right? There was always this assignment in physics where you got to make a bridge or something, and then the egg has to withstand the bridge or something like that. And, when I was in high school, kids would make the bridge out of toothpicks or straws or toilet paper or dental floss, whatever. And people are like, oh, when students start out, they're like, I want to get, let me get some wood, or I want to get rubber bands because rubber bands are really strong. And then, this damn kid with the dental floss that wrapped it 1,000 times that's able to make this bridge strong. And then when they do the egg drop thing, egg doesn't fall, right? So effective force is thinking about how we use the energy that we have to build strength, right? So a lot of us use our energy towards anger. Somebody did something, now I'm mad, right? And a few minutes later, a few hours later, now I'm exhausted. I've wasted that energy, okay? But we could also use our energy to strategize, right? To rethink, right? I was trying to we were putting together a lot of furniture. I was trying to put together these bar stools, and something wasn't working. And I was like, let me figure this out. Let me put this down. Let me walk away. Let me come back. And when I came back, I was intentional. I didn't walk to it the same way I did. I walked a different way. When I picked it up, I didn't turn it the same way. I turned it a different way. And then boom, screw went in and everything was fine, right? Rethinking or looking at something differently than we did before. And we can do that if we take significant time and space away from something, right? That's important. We can do that if we spend our time meditating in silence without distractions of other things, right? Which is why I think it's so dangerous for a lot of people not to post on social media, because I definitely am on social media a lot and I post a lot on social media, but to have distance from something, right? If I'm arguing with a friend of mine, right, I'm not going to be texting that friend and then post on social media like, why do people blah, 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 right? Not going to do that in the immediate, right? Which is why when things happen out in the news and a lot of people tag me and stuff, I don't want to respond immediately. Right? I want to sit, I want to process because I'm trying to exercise balance. Everything is not urgent and important. It doesn't require my immediate response, right? Because my strength is... the strength of mine is in my processing and taking my time in making an educated decision. I can't do that by firing off at people as soon as they send me something, as soon as something happens. What do you think about this? I haven't had time to think about it, right? I'm balancing and processing something else. The other thing that strength could look like is potency, right? So when something is really potent, it is more effective. It is more pure, and it's more highly effective because it doesn't get diluted by other things, right? So part of my practice is spending a lot of time with myself, meditating, yoga, reading, being within my own thoughts, being silent, because I want to make sure that when I put something out, when I give my energy, right, that I don't have to super extend myself. Right? I'm not weakening myself by sharing myself and my gifts with other people, because my gift is so potent, I can just drop, right? Drop and go, right? A little drop. It's like, if you're cooking with what did I make the other day? I forgot what I made, but I used saffron. And it's like, you don't need a whole lot of saffron. A little sprinkle. Because too much is going to overpower and overextend. And when we overextend ourselves, we actually lose our strength, right? Our power doesn't become more because we do more or add more. It lessens. It actually minimizes when we do more. You told me not to take what? Saffron? So how can we find greater balance in our life so that we can show up strong without debilitating or depleting ourselves? So a couple of the commitments that I'm making for myself, y'all can feel free to add these as well, is to commit to me time, right? And me time is not necessarily self-care. It's, me time, I say, is my meditation time, or I'm doing nothing. I take out my watch, I put my phone on silent. That is me, and that is uninterrupted time. I tell the dog, I tell the kid, it's just me time. Leave me alone, right? And separate and put in solid time. The other thing is I'm wearing my carnelian stone today. And carnelian is really about rebalancing and strength, right? And one of the things I want to do more of is processing my emotions, right? Not really living so much in my head, but having more full body experiences, right? So typically what I would do, right, in order to preserve this air of strength and strong womanhood is, if something were to happen, I would maybe not say anything, right? I become passive. And then, later on, if that thing were to happen again, there might be a blow up between me and somebody, right? But I'm getting better about in the moment to say, this has worked for me, this does not work for me, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, right? And trying to say that in a respectful way, because it'd be a little disrespectful in my tone at times. I recognize that. The third thing that I'm doing to restore balance and to have greater strength in my life is to prioritize. So that means saying yes to what I really want and saying no to what I really don't want, right? So if you're like me, because you want to help people and people know you as a helper, people say, hey, Brandy, do you have a minute? And I'm like, yes, right? Or people might say, hey, can you, read this for me and tell me what you think? Hey, do you have a moment to blah, 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 right? And so what I'm trying to get good about is saying, right, yes, but, or yes, and, or no, but, or no, and, right? So somebody told me yesterday, or asked me yesterday, like, hey, I am redoing my website. Do you have a moment to take a look at it for me, right? And instead of saying, oh, sure, send it to me. Yes, girl, I got you. I was like, no, I don't. But, right, I don't have time to look at your whole website. But if there is something that you're unsure about that you want me to take a look at, you can send it to me. And tomorrow, I'll take a look at that, right? Limiting how much energy that I exert to other people, because I realize that, people are always going to do what's best for them. So I would be a fool not to do what's best for me. And why do I say people are always going to do what's best for them, right? Because people don't have a problem asking you for anything, really, right? Like, my job, and somebody DM me after this and remind me to sign out of my work email from my phone. I got an email yesterday from the CEO of our company, sent out an email, said, hey, there's a lot going on in the world, and I've been reading a lot of blah, blah, blah. Here's this 25-page article I want you guys to read before our Monday meeting. He sent that on Saturday. No, but thank you so much for suggesting the article, right? Doing that? No. You can't assign me something on a non-work day and tell me to do it before Monday. It just sounds crazy, right? But it's not crazy, right? They're not crazy for asking. I would be a fool for accepting, because that's going to violate my time and my strength. And if I agree to it now, how could I ever then step back and not agree to it later, right? So then I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. People at my work, they're going to spend their weekend reading it. And they're going to get to work on Monday drained and exhausted because they didn't have time to focus on other projects. They didn't have time to rest and relax with their family and friends and do the things they want to do because they was reading that article, right? We constantly give away our power. Nobody takes it from us. We give it away. We say, you know what? I'm afraid of being strong or appearing to be strong. I don't want people to think I'm a bitch or I'm mean or I'm rude. I want to be likable, right? I don't want it to seem like I'm better than people, that I'm more intelligent. So I'm going to dim my light, right? And then people who are less qualified and less intelligent, they ain't dimming shit. They're like, to the top. They're the outspoken ones. They're the ones that's not afraid to say no and this and that. And they essentially get what they want, right? You have to figure out how to get more of what you want. And if that means hurting somebody's feelings, you don't have to be nasty. But sometimes people's feelings are going to be hurt. But guess what? They'll get over it. Or they won't. But you'll keep going and thriving and shining because you are you, right? You'll have greater balance. You'll feel better. You'll actually start to flow, right? Real strength comes from surrender. And that is what I'm learning. And that is hard, y'all, because I don't like it. But real strength comes from surrender. When I was trying to fight against everything and I had things to prove and, you know, I was ignoring my intuition and my gut. And I was saying, no, I know this is what I probably should be doing, but this is what I'm going to do anyway, right? I was testing God in the universe saying, well, make it happen my way, right? My intuition is saying do this, but I'm like, no, if it's for me, then I could do it this way. I could do it however I want, right? People are saying, you know, slow down, focus, do this, do that, right? And I'm going against, I'm constantly fighting. People say left, I say right, right? People say jump, I say sit, right? I'm fighting. And then I say, you know what, right? It's like that meme that's like, you know, the person throwing up the papers and saying, you know, like, fuck all this, right? I was just like, you know, I am surrendering, right? I pay all this money for these courses and these books. I'm going to do it exactly how they say do it. I'm not going to remix it. I'm not going to add salt. Nope. Just like this. I surrender. I'm going to do it this way. Exactly how they said. Throw my hands up. This is what I'm doing. And you know what happened? You know what happened? Gosh, I felt powerful. Wow, I felt less stressed. Wow, I felt like things were in alignment and in balance because I surrendered to the process. I surrendered to myself. I no longer had these constraints of society and what I thought other people were going to think and all the what ifs and all the fears. I just surrendered. And things started lining up. Right? I didn't give up. I surrendered to the process. I started listening to my gut and my intuition. Right? My intuition had been trying to guide me, and I'm like, well, that can't be right. I told myself, right? Told y'all. This year I said I wanted ease and abundance. And then I surrendered as things start becoming easy. I'm like, nah, it can't be that easy. Something must be wrong. Can't be right. Right? Abundance started coming into my life, right? I started to have everything that I needed. I had more than enough, and I'm like, can't be right. I must have miscalculated something. Nah, not me. I don't deserve that, right? Because I told myself in order to live well, I had to be working hard. If I wasn't working hard and stressing out and exhausted at the end of the day, then I didn't really do nothing. So when I said I wanted ease and abundance, when I got ease and abundance, I couldn't believe that to be true, right? But sometimes we have to stop believing, we have to stop telling ourselves that things are too good to be true and start accepting them as true, right? People are like, you know, oh my God, it's my dream job. But, oh my God, I met this person and they seem really great. I'm sure something's wrong with them, right? Can't be right. Start accepting it as true and see how your life changes. We tell ourselves something is too good to be true because we don't believe that we deserve things that are truly good. So we put up with things. I was telling my friend the other day, and this is going back to, a previous live that I did about being the toxic one. I was saying that, every time I felt my life start to level up, I went back to something toxic, right? Something good was happening in my life and things were starting to change, that abundance, right? And then I was like, nah, right? I was like, oh, I'm going to do this and this is great. Oh my God, this is what I always wanted. Let me reach back to that person that I cut off a long time ago and bring them along to show them, right? Or you say, I miss this person that I was on this journey with. This ain't their journey. This is your journey, right? And if people come and go, I'm always surrounded by the people I need to be surrounded with. And that is my strength. My strength in that I am not, I'm not necessarily tied down to doing things in a certain way and doing things with certain people, right? And I might be different from y'all. Like, I don't know y'all life, I'm a single woman out here. I don't have to run things by a spouse or something, right? Not that I would. I don't know. I'm going to be that kind of wife, I think, okay? But I don't have to do that, right? So thinking, surrendering to the process and surrendering to yourself, surrendering first to your needs, right? Your basic needs. If your basic needs are met, right? We talk about that being our inner child. Your basic needs are met, your inner child isn't happy, then everything else is not going to matter. You're not going to be happy. That's why you see people with millions of dollars that are just depressed, right? And just not happy. But you have to surrender in order to be strong, right? I thought being in control or trying to be in control or being in charge of everything was the real strength. Somebody else do it. I don't need that kind of responsibility. It does not have to be me. Whoever it needs to be, whatever it needs to be in order to get that done, do it. Right? So thinking about, again, y'all, redefining what strength means and looks like in your life, right? And then surrendering to and welcoming that in your life and not blocking it off because it's too good to be true, right? Accepting the good as true in your life, accepting this new definition of strength in your life, and not letting other people tell you that you're wrong. That happens a lot. I swear, every client I work with, it's like I'm not only coaching them, I'm coaching this other toxic person in their life. Because most of the time when people come to me for coaching or group coaching or they take a course with me, it's like they start off telling me what this other person or other people have told them. And they have accepted it as true, but they don't fully believe it as true, and they want me to debunk the myths, right? Well, so-and-so said, my husband said, my spouse said, my best friend said, right? And then we play that game. Never reconnect a disconnected trauma bond. Yes. Where were you 5 years ago, Brother D? Where was you at? Imposter syndrome. Yes and no. Right? So imposter syndrome is a little different, or at least how I think about it is a little different. Imposter syndrome is you saying that, essentially you saying that you are trying to be someone else, right? Imposter. You're trying to be someone else or be in that position. So let's say I was a singer, and every time I hit the stage, I'm like, oh my God, what would Beyonce do? I hit that note, but I ain't hit it like Beyonce. Damn, I'm not a good singer because I don't sound like Beyonce. What I'm talking about is us not accepting good in our life, right? What I'm talking about is the story and the lie that we tell ourselves of, I don't deserve good things. I don't deserve better in my life. That could be part of imposter syndrome if you're connecting that to somebody else's lifestyle or purpose. Like, oh, I like my house, but shit, Oprah got 10 acres, right? Imposter syndrome. oh, I would apply for this job, but I actually think so-and-so would be better at it than me. So-and-so has more experience, right? It doesn't have to be a specific person. Like, you don't have to name Beyonce, but you think if somebody else would be best to fit that role other than you. If that makes sense. What'd you tell me not to take, Shauna? A nap? What? Yes to the feed. Hey, what I say? Y'all have questions for me? Just here drinking my wine. Questions? Comments? Concerns? More to say? Thank you. The lipstick is the Lip Bar, their matte collection. I finally got it at, you know, it's been available at Target, but I finally live by a black Target where they sell, you know, more than that little row of black products. So I was able to go in and pick it up instead of waiting to order it because, you know, packages get lost in the mail and such. Taking notes. Send me your notes. Because y'all know I be talking. Like, I don't actually... Sometimes I take notes. Like, I have my little Post-it notes, right? But, I don't really be taking notes. So I just be talking. I don't know what I say after. Yes, my jewelry is from Simone, the land of Becca Gage. I just sent her a picture and some more stones because I want another ring in a different style. This is like... I asked her to make this. This is custom, but everybody's asking about it. I told her she should just make them and sell them. What else, y'all got me for? Well, I got 15 minutes before I got a date with my bestie. Yeah, Simone made the necklace too. Sandy, you didn't take notes. No, it's okay. What else y'all wanted to say? I want to know. Y'all happy I'm back? We back on Sundays? If this was me, I know y'all wake up later, but I would do this early in the morning. Love the shirt. Thank you. This was designed by Chill and Grow. Listen to Brandy. I'm going to bring these back, y'all. May 1st. Stay tuned. May 1st. You get this. You get the Manifest But Do the Work. You get your Living My Best Life in Real Life. Coffee cups. And all that. I'm trying to get my son to model some of the merch for me, but, you know, it's a preteen. He's got a mind of his own and he wants to be paid. And, you know, my mom would say, you live here and you eat for free. So do what I say. Tell you about Chicago. Good food. Yes, we went to this place today, which I don't know if we're still in lockdown or not, but 6 feet, 3 feet, 1 feet was non-existent. It was really crowded. I tried this. It was a waffle. It's supposed to be Eggs Benedict, but it was made with waffles. I didn't really like it. But the French toast, I love French toast. It's my favorite. Chicago is good. The weather is different every day, so it sort of feels like the Bay. Except when I say different, it's like rain, 60 degrees, snowing, super windy, excessively chilly, sunny. It's weird too, like, I don't know if this is a thing or describe this as a thing. Maybe this was true when I lived in New York as well, but it's like you see the sunlight, but you don't see the sun. You get what I'm saying? Like, being a California girl, you could always find the sun, you know? It's like right there staring at you, like saying, hey, like, it'll be bright outside, but I don't know where the sun is. So I feel like my personal center of gravity is off. And maybe, you know, I didn't do well in science. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I am seeing the sun. Maybe the sun doesn't exist. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm just telling y'all what I see. But it's a little weird. My doggy is making friends. There's squirrels always outside my window on this tree. A bird flew into my window the other day. I'm on the 3rd floor, y'all, and it scared us. I know what was happening. But it's cool. We went to Dave & Buster's the other day. It's cool. All the good food. I be making a lot of food. I cook a lot, so I'm trying to balance it and go try new places, but I like to cook. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of vegan restaurants here. Yeah. A lot of vegan restaurants. A lot of places are outside of Chicago, but not far. What else, y'all? What y'all want to talk about? I am here for you. The pros and cons of homeschooling. Oh, yes, I can. We can talk homeschooling. Yeah, where's Antoinette? You here? I'm gonna bring Antoinette on because she's also homeschooling her daughter. I think homeschooling. I'll just say I think homeschooling is harder than regular teaching. And keep in mind, I'm only teaching one child, and he's mine. However, I know people would think like, "Well, Brandy, you've been a teacher. You got this." Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it all right. It's just different. I think, in order to homeschool, you have to have a real understanding for your child, the child that you are going to teach, okay? And then you got to make it fun. If homeschooling mimics or reflects the classroom, then I think you're doing it wrong, okay? My homeschool is very lax. And kids who I was teaching, if they saw the things I was doing in homeschool, they'd be like, who is this woman? Because she ain't never, right? But it has to be different because you have to deprogram the child from school. So they spend all these years, however many years they've been in school, learning how to be schooled, right? Then you have to deschool them because they don't see home as a place of learning or education. You have to redefine education for them, right? So it's not like a sit down, I talk, you do this, you do that, etc. But 5th grade next year, yeah. Honestly, if I was able to, I would have taken my son out. I would have never put him in actual school, but I would have taken him out of school in 4th grade. Because as a black boy, it's hard. It's hard. Devin! He's fake shy. I asked him to do his lesson, explain the probability. He got so shy and was turning red and all that stuff. So we'll see if we get that. They want to know, how's homeschool? What do you like? What are the pros and cons? What are you enjoying?
It's cool.
What's cool about it?
At home.
You're at home.
Yeah.
What else do you like about it? Okay, what don't you like about it?
Oh, no.
Well, there you have it, folks. Anything else you want to share about homeschool for people who might want to homeschool their children or children who might want to get homeschooled? Wow. Do you like the schedule, or would you rather be in class all day?
I like the schedule.
Oh, tell them the schedule that we have.
3 days a week.
3 days a week. For how long?
For 2 hours?
2 or 3 hours. Can you put your shirt down? Thanks. Yeah, it's very fake shy. I don't know who this is.
I like to fix it. I'm not.
It's the same kid that if I post a picture of him, you didn't tag me? Can I be on your live, Mom? He'll be 13 soon. But you know what they say, age ain't nothing but a number. Still a kid. Yeah, I think he likes the flexibility. So we don't necessarily have school at the same time every day, because his schedule has to work with my schedule. My schedule is not the same every day. Yeah, it's it can be challenging at times. But I feel like we get through things different or faster, right? Because I don't have a classroom full of 30 kids, and I'm only focused on him. If he gets it, we can move on. If he doesn't, then I go back. And also, you know, I'm not necessarily following a set curriculum. There are a bunch of homeschool families that do. And the reason why I didn't is because a lot of people who homeschool are homeschooling because they're Christian and they want religion in the schools. And so a lot of the, a lot of the resources are like, you know, Jesus had 5 apples and he gave Peter 2. And it's like, I don't know if that's fully necessary, right? But anyway, so a lot of people who homeschool are Christian. So they, a lot of curriculum is that. And it's like religious teaching. So I wanted to make my own because I wanted it to be focused on him and what he wants to do. So because he's very much into basketball, we do a lot of stuff with basketball and the NBA and calculating stuff like that. So it makes it more interesting and fun for him. But 2 things that we do every day, he reads and he writes every day. He's got a journal. He's got books that he reads. He probably reads, 30 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day? 30. Yeah, so we go through books quickly. Do we do things socially with others? Well, we haven't been able to. But if Antoinette's still on here, she's been doing these different workshops for kids on Zoom, which he participated in a creative writing workshop. She's got a workshop through Rich City Kids that's going to be on beat making that he's going to do. She's done like photography and stuff like that. So we try to do activities like that. And then for like his PE and recreation, I have him in a basketball program. So he does that twice a week. Are you done?
Sean wants to know why I put you in the chokehold.
Yeah, why did you put me in a chokehold?
I did not put you in the chokehold.
Yes.
It was a hug.
Yeah, so there's plenty of things to do socially with others. And then also, if you are homeschooling... My dog just fell out of his bed. I don't know what happened. Oh my God. If you're homeschooling, your child, you can go to the school district, what have you, and your child can still participate in public school activities. So if you want your child to be in a club to play a sport at a certain school, you just go down to the district, say, hey, here's my... They're going to have you fill out a form or whatever it is. Hey, look, this is my kid. They want to play soccer here. Boom. Do it. Yes, richcitykids.org. You can also donate, y'all. I'm on the board of that organization, and we need your money so we can help these kids because she is trying to provide these classes for free for kids. And as you guys know, things cost money. So if you have a kid or don't have a kid, if you have a kid, put your kid in the program and pay her some money so they can participate. If you don't have a kid, go to the website and donate some money because we want to be able to offer these classes for kids whose families can't afford them as well. But yes.
Oh God, I'm cap.
Yeah, just sending you to work. Yeah, Zoom is, child. I don't know who decided these kids being on Zoom for 6 hours a day was a good idea, but it's a lot. So much so that the kids don't even be on Zoom. I was doing this Zoom workshop with some kids, and I was like, look, I don't talk to blank screens. Y'all better put y'all cameras on. These kids was in the bed. They was at the park, like, completely checked out. Bye, Sandy.
Bye.
It's a lot. I think what distance learning has proved to me is what I have always said in education. People make all of these remarks and, oh my God, teachers work so hard and blah, blah, blah. Distance learning has proved that not every teacher is a good teacher, and some of these teachers need to go. Because it's not impossible to teach on Zoom. It's made harder because you just have to be a stronger teacher. You don't have nothing to distract you. You don't have no fancy whiteboard. You ain't got it. You're not doing all this razzle dazzle. Like, you have to actually teach. Boom. What? I just want to say to y'all asked him to come here, okay?
Y'all did.
So I don't know what's going on behind me.
Facts.
Is there anything you don't like about homeschool? Anything you like about Chicago or don't like about Chicago you want to share with the people?
It's too cold here.
He said it's too cold. So what'd you sleep in last night?
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
What am I doing what?
See, why are you bringing up that? That's old.
That's old.
Yeah, that's old.
Do you really not know what? We are going to do a live. We're going to do a whole homeschool live. Bring your friends. Bring the kids. We're going to talk about it. How you going to start homeschooling your children. Devin's going to do a thing on how to be a good homeschool student.
Call him out. What you talking about? Call me out. What you talking about?
This man, you know, he wants to be... In Devin's mind, he lives like on the port of Miami somewhere, right? And so he'll be like, it's so cold. So why are you walking around with your shirt off?
My shirt. Oh my God.
Are you on the beach? Is it summertime, Devin? You hot? Sweating? Oh, but it's so cold. It was just cold. It's freezing.
I don't walk around with my shirt off anymore. It's a
Get
new
your
me,
boy.
Mom. It's a new me.
We're going to talk homeschool. We're going to talk about a bunch of things, but y'all let me know what y'all want to hear more of from me. All right, now he's doing this whole little sleeve thing. I don't get it.
Why?
A little bass. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, you saw that. You saw that muscle.
I saw what?
Look at that. Look at that. Touch it. Feel it.
All right, y'all.
She a
He's
hater.
had enough.
Hater.
He'll be shy. How long did that take? What, 4 minutes? 4 or 5 minutes for him to warm up and not be shy? What question to ask him? Let me ask him again. What you want to know? Because he's warmed up now.
What you doing about?
How's homeschool?
It's okay.
What do you like about homeschool?
I don't know.
You want to talk about probability?
No.
All right, go. You're on. Where are you going? He needs his own show. Man, he's something else. But yeah, homeschool is it could be flexible for sure. And I think, you know, like I said, you have to deprogram your child, because if they're used to sitting in class all day, and that's something I had to learn too. So when I said we don't do school at the same time every day, you know, school starts at 8:00. But you have to learn your kid, because your kid might not be their most productive at 8:00, right? So I don't want to fuss and fight and argue with you and try to drag stuff out of you if by 11 a.m. you lit and ready to go and your brain is functioning, right? So maybe we need to have school at 11 instead of having it at 8 or whatever, if your schedule is flexible in that, right? And then balancing, you know, what do I teach specifically, but also teaching him the skills so that he can be researching and learning on his own. And then enlisting help of other people. You know, I know a lot of teacher friends. Like, you know, I've sent work to Shauna specifically. I had him do a presentation for my mom. Have other people help you. Great, because that's what the real world is like, right? If, you know, if you're going for a job interview, you're going to interview with somebody. That's not your teacher. Sorry, y'all. That was my too short button. But, you know, getting them ready for the real world. So inviting other people in, like, actual real world experiences. Like, hey, Devin, you know, I want to do a field trip. Where can we go? Find something that centers around our learning. What can we do there? And get into the museum, and you ask the questions and figuring out how much it's going to cost. Like, have them do a lot of real world things right along with you. Setting up our grocery list and budgeting for groceries. Real world things. identifying navigational things. You know, the things that everybody's like, this should be taught in schools. Teach it at your house. All that stuff. But anyways, y'all, I have a foot show to watch. So I'm gonna go do some feet stuff. This is not gonna be on IGTV. I'm trying to divest from Instagram, y'all, because I heard some things, I read some things, I know some things, and I'm just not going to be there. But if you are on my Patreon, it will be there, the full replay of everything, about strength and all of the chit-chatter there. After, I'll post some clips on my Instagram from here on out. But if not, y'all, I will see y'all next Sunday, same time, same place. Invite somebody to come through with y'all and learn and share. But y'all can always hit my DM or text me, 312-847-4257. I respond. Bye, y'all.